Good morning. It is Monday, March 21st, 2022. We're here for our daily lectionary readings. We are reflecting back on what happened on Sunday, and wow, was Sunday a doozer. Our psalm reading, Psalm 39. Our Old Testament reading, Jeremiah chapter 11, verses 1 through 17. And our New Testament reading is coming from the book of Romans, chapter 2, verses 1 through 11. Let us read into the scripture. Psalm 39. I am determined to watch steps and tongue so they won't land me in trouble. I decided to hold my tongue as long as wicked is in the room. Mum's the word, I said, and keep quiet. But the longer I kept silence, the worse it got. My insides got hotter and hotter. My thoughts boiled over. I spilled my guts. Tell me what's going on, God. How long do I have to live? Give me the bad news. You've kept me on pretty short rations. My life is a string too short to be saved. Oh, we're all puffs of air. Oh, we're all shadows in a campfire. Oh, we're just spit in the wind. We make our pile and then we leave it. What am I doing in the meantime, Lord? Hoping? That's what I'm doing. Hoping. You save me from a rebel life. You save me from the contempt of idiots. I'll say no more. I'll shut my mouth, since you, Lord, are behind all of this. But I can't take it much longer. When you put us through the fire to purge us from our sin, our dearest idols, they go up in smoke. Are we also nothing but smoke? Ah, God, listen to my prayers, my cry. Open your ears. Don't be callous. Just look at these tears of mine. I'm a stranger here. I don't know my way. A migrant like my whole family. Give me a break. Cut me some slack before it's too late. And I'm out of here. Our Old Testament reading today comes from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, verses 1 through 17. The message that came to Jeremiah from God, preached to the people of Judah and the citizens of Jerusalem. Tell them this. This is God's message, the message of Israel's God to you. Anyone who does not keep the terms of the covenant is cursed. The terms are clear. I made them plain to your ancestors when I delivered them from Egypt out of the iron furnace of suffering. Obey what I tell you. Do exactly what I command you. Your obedience will close the deal. You'll be mine and I'll be yours. This will provide the condition in which I will be able to do what I promised to your ancestors, to give them a fertile and a lush land. And as you know, that's what I did. Yes, God, I replied, that's true. God continued, preach all of this in the towns of Judah, in the streets of Jerusalem. Say, listen to the terms of this covenant and carry them out. I wanted your ancestors when I delivered them from Egypt, and I've kept up the warnings. I haven't quit warning them for a moment. I warned them from morning to night. Obey me, or else. But they didn't obey. They paid no attention to me. They did whatever they wanted to do, whenever they wanted to do it, until I finally stepped in and ordered the punishment set out in the covenant, which despite all my warnings, they had ignored. Then God said, there's a conspiracy among the people of Judah and the citizens of Jerusalem. They plotted to reenact the sins of their ancestors, the ones who disobeyed me and decided to go after other gods and worship them. Israel and Judah are in this together, mindlessly breaking the covenant I made with their ancestors. Well, your God has something to say about this. Watch out. I'm about to visit doom on you, and no one will get out of it. You're going to cry for help, but I won't listen. Then all the people in Judah and Jerusalem will start praying to the gods you've been sacrificing to all these years. But it won't do much good. You've got as many gods as you have villages, Judah. and you've got enough altars for sacrifices to that impotent sex god Baal to put on one every street corner in Jerusalem. And as for you, Jeremiah, I don't want you praying for this people. Nothing. Not a word of petition. Indeed, I'm not going to listen to a single syllable of their crisis prayer. What business do the ones I love have figuring out how to get off the hook? And right in the house of worship, do you think making promises and devious PS programs will save you from doom? Do you think you can get out of this by becoming more religious? A mighty oak tree, majestic and glorious. That's how I once described you. But it will only take a clap of thunder and a bolt of lightning to leave you a shattered wreck. I, God of the angels' armies, who planted you, yes, I have pronounced doom on you. Why? Because of your disastrous life that you have lived, Israel and Judah alike, goading me to anger with your continuous worship and offering to that sorry god Baal. Our New Testament reading today comes from the book of Romans, chapter 2, verses 1 through 11. Those people are on a dark spiral downward, but if you think that leaves you on the high ground where you can point your finger at others, think again. Every time that you criticize someone, you condemn yourself. It takes one to know one. Judgmental criticism of others is a well-known way of escaping detection in your own crimes and misdemeanors. But God isn't so easily diverted. He sees right through all such smoke screens and holds you to what you've done. You don't think, did you, that by pointing your finger at others, you would distract God from seeing all your misdoings and from coming down on you hard? Or did you think that because he's such a nice God, he'd let you off the hook? Better think this one through from the beginning. God is kind, but he's not soft. In kindness, he takes us firmly by the hand and leads us to a radically changed life. You're not getting by with anything. Every refusal and avoidance of God adds fuel to the fire. The day is coming when it's going to blaze hot and high. God's fiery and righteous judgment. Make no mistake. In the end, you'll get what's coming to you. Real life. For those who work on God's side, but to those who insist on getting their own way and take the path of least resistance, fire! If you go against the grain, you get splinters, regardless of which neighborhood you're from, what your parents taught you, what schools you attend. But if you embrace the way God does things, these are wonderful payoffs. Again, without regard to where you are or how you were brought up. Being a Jew won't give you an automatic stamp of approval. God pays no attention to what others say or what you think about you. He makes up his mind on his own. And here ends our readings for the day.